Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we've got a whole bunch of cars that I received for Christmas and we're gonna go through pretty much every single one. Gonna open some of them up and the rest well they're already loose, so no need to do that. We'll just take a look at them normally. But yeah, we have a very good amount of cars here. We've got a decent split between the Disney cars and plane stuff, but the majority of it is also NASCAR stuff. We have pretty much zero room on this desk right now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move all this stuff kind of off to another little area where it'll not be in the way, and I'll bring it back on the desk as I, review and open stuff up. So give me a minute to do that. Speaking the YouTuber voice. Like that. And hopefully there'll be enough room by the end of the video to where I can still be looking at stuff up close. Because there's no point if the car is way back here and I'm blah 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 blah. Alright. It's down there now. I'm very nervous about trying to move that because it's right on the camera. And this tripod is also just not a tripod. It's just an old trunk fresh launcher that I used to hold up my phone, and it is not exactly good at doing that job. So it also is extremely incompatible with my current phone case. So that is an issue that we are going to have to just work with right now. But we've got all the package stuff off. We've got a bunch of NASCAR 164s we're gonna move out the way. And once we do that, we will get started, and I will start off with some kind of Disney item, because I know that's what most of you guys come here for. And that is the main focus of the channel. And it has been for a very long time. Alright, every single item is now off of the desk. Let's do it. Let's start off with this. I don't want to talk about it. Alright, so here we have the Octane Gain hauler. It did come loose. It's not loose, it came as a loose die cast. So you do have a couple scratches and chips on it, like you got one up on that front bumper there. One or two going by the mouth. You have a little scratch on the back of this hauler. You can see a few very tiny, minuscule marks just across the sky that are not really that noticeable or whatever. You got a little mark on the top of him. But if you you got a little chip down there too. But if you really ignore those, which is easy to do because they're so tiny, it's pretty much in the best, in a good, almost mint condition. Luckily, it does have both mirrors, which is the main reason why I don't have a bunch of the other haulers. I think I've gotten pretty much all of them now. I'm still missing, in terms of the racing haulers, I'm still missing Ben Crankleshaft in terms of the non-racing haulers. But I've got, I think I'm still missing maybe, who would it be? I have the Octane Gain hauler now. I'm missing the Mood Springs hauler, the Bumper Safe hauler. I'm missing RPM. There might be one more other one. But I'm talking about that because I used to have a lot of the trunk fresh, not what I'm missing. I used to have a lot of the haulers. I even have the Mood Springs hauler, which is now a pretty rare one. But I was a kid and I ended up breaking the mirrors off of pretty much all of them. So throughout the course of the years, pretty much, I've been having to re-buy some of them. I don't remember if I had the Octane Gain hauler. I think I had the Octane Gain cab, and I broke the mirrors off of that, and I haven't had that for a number of years. But here we have it now. He's pretty plain on the front side. Got a nice little smirk, whatever. Octane Gain hat. Of course, you can separate the two parts of the body. You can see the Octane Gain Mud flaps back there. You got a couple of like springs or whatever those are. I never really knew. I'm nervous about tapping my phone here because of this little thing that I don't want to fall. The license plate is like right there. Got the Octane Gain mud flaps, of course. So the hauler part, pretty simple design. You got the Octane Gain like orangish yellow color. Big old 58 with the Octane Gain turbo vitamins, and then you also have like the big racing and cursive, which is a nice little touch. It's like the team hauler, not just, doesn't just say Octane Gain or whatever. And you have two little white stripes. Have pretty much the same exact thing on the other side as well as the back. Roof just says Octane Gain turbo vitamins. On the inside, there's like a little dent there. On the inside, really, it's nothing too different. I mean, it's pretty much the same as all the other haulers. If we were to open this up, I don't remember which side it opens from. I think it opens, yes, it opens from this side. So all you really gotta do is pull that out. That will come up, and boom, got that. You also have these two little things on the bottom, which like notice I don't want my like finger to like launch backwards and hit the camera. But these things, they come out and they act as like the little stands that the hauler sits upright on, pretty much. So you get it like that, and all of a sudden, boom, you got that little, I don't know what you call it, that little like ramp, little like stage almost for the driver, not the really oil changer, to like sit in or whatever. And it's also infinitely easier to close all this than it is to get it out. Snap those back into place, shove that back in there, and boom, there's your Octane Gain hauler. That is car number 1 of many. Let's do this one right here. This one is Bailey Curry's 2021 Running for Heroes car. He ran it at Daytona, I think. This car is like all over the place. You got like the logo. You have like the kid running. There's a whole bunch of like medals and stuff. I wanted this one because I wanted to have a number 74 for the collection. I'm trying to get one of every produced number. I'll try to zoom in a little bit more without it falling off, which it just did. I don't want to have that lock on or whatever. And I also just wanted to have a Mike Harmon racing car, which you do have a few of them. They all have, like, even this one, kind of morally like questionable sponsors, but this is one of the less morally questionable ones, so I thought it would be good enough to get. You do have like all the medals, which is a cool little touch. Decent car, pretty nice. And it's also a Bailey Curry diecast, which is not something that really exists a whole lot. Let's do another 164 from NASCAR. We have Bobby Hamilton's, I believe, 1991 Country Time diecast 164. I believe it's a Lemonade company, and you can see that through the lemon on the hood. Pretty simple design. It's just like kind of like a neon yellow with pink, bright pink numbers and logos, and like the hand-drawn lemon. Very cool little car. This is another one for the number collection. Had no number 68s before this one. I actually really like this one. I usually am not a big fan of like anything before, like, say maybe like almost like 1990, like the mid 1990s pretty much. This one, it's got a very good looking body. It's pretty well made. Like, it's got good details and whatever. It's a Pontiac Thunderbird, or I don't know why I said it like that. It is a Ford Thunderbird. The Pontiac is the Firebird. I don't know why I'm having trouble speaking correctly. This is a very cool car. Yeah. Back again. Yep. I'll put you right back up there. All right. Next up, let's do. How about do this? This right here is Chris Buescher's 2022 Fastenal primary scheme. Pretty simple. You got just the kind of dark blue roof, got the rest of it is black, have the little like RFK like stripe design down there, and you got like Fastenal on their tagline, whatever. Got the chrome numbers, very cool. On the left side, they're a little bit too high on the car. Pretty neat. This is not the Bristol or dual win car. He won those races in this paint scheme, and they're very hard to tell apart because there's no really race damage. There's not really like race damage or confetti on either of those, so you can really only tell it apart by like some of the marble marks that are on it. But marbles, they're black, and the front of this car is black, and the front of the car is where the marbles get kicked up. So it's very hard to tell. But this is just the primary standard car, and that's what the box said. Let's do another RFK car. We have Brad Keselowski's 2022 Solomon Plumbing Bristol race version diecast. He didn't win this race. He didn't come anywhere near winning this race. He crashed a couple times. But I guess that's how Solomon wanted their diecast made, with all the damage and all that from the race. So that's how it was made. You have like some tire marks, a bunch of dirt on the side. Of course, you got dirt on the front from it being kicked up. And the other side is pretty clean. You got a little bit of dirt, I guess. It's a decent paint scheme. Got more chrome numbers. Got the dark green, kind of fades into like black almost towards the back. Now, let's go to something else. Let's do this right here. This is Bubba Wallace's 2021 Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar car, the liquid color version. Let's see if I can zoom out without failing my camera a little bit. There we go. I do have this car in just the standard 164 version. Don't have any 124s except for, well, this one now. And as I mentioned, it is the liquid color version. So it is the like Dr. Pepper red that got that treatment. It looks very, very clean and just sick, really. It's a cool paint scheme to have that color on. Looks very menacing. We're just kind of putting it out front like that. The rest of the scheme, pretty simple. Just got, you got the nice looking hood with like the gray outlines, and then you have a similar design kind of on the back of the car. Very, very awesome. Love this paint scheme pretty much. Let's get the second and I guess final, technically, Bubba Wallace car again. It's another 124. This is his 2020 Worldwide Technology 30th Anniversary paint scheme in color chrome. He ran this car twice, I believe, at Indianapolis and Talladega. Had good performances in both of those races. I believe this car back there only ran at Kansas, the first Kansas race that year. This one was the Indy and second Talladega race. You got like a kind of like a, I don't even know what to call it, the design of like the stripes that go out from one central point and they all get like spread out or whatever. This is from his final year with Richard Petty Racing. At the very bottom you just have like a celebrating 30 years thing. The hood, you have the Worldwide Technology logo and another celebrating 30 years. And of course the iconic like orange roof number, almost red roof number that RPM likes to do. Now Legacy Motor Club, I guess. On the back you have the hashtag We Stand With Bubba from the stuff that happened that year with him. You have another celebrating 30 years logo back there. You have a bigger one that just says, like, 1990 to 2020 or whatever. And even though it's like a dark blue, which usually wouldn't reflect like too well, it really just does look super like clean and cool, really. Next, let's do these guys. This right here is fan favorites Luigi and Guido. These were a very, very hard car to find back when they first came out. They were found in very, very like minuscule quantities. And for a period of like months, like I might be exaggerating by saying like half a year, but it really was like very long amounts of time. There was like 0 on eBay, and the very few ones that like did pop up would sell for both. They would sell both extremely quickly and for high prices. Luckily, after that time had passed, they kind of became a little more common. They're still not like easy to find by any means, but they are at least obtainable. There should be at least a few on eBay. And these were the final fan favorites cars that I needed, and now have all of the fan favorites cars released. Plus, I have two of the canceled versions, that being fan favorites Fillmore and fan favorites Lizzie. Let's open these guys up. Go. I don't remember exactly what year these were. I believe it was 2020. It may have been 2021, but I think they were 2020 because they were in the second wave of fan favorites cars. The first wave had pretty much, they were the first wave, had like Sarge, Sheriff, whatever, the Metallic, no, not the Metallic McQueen, the Maddie McGear. But these were in like a later wave that was released like later in the summer. I don't know if they're in like the exact same case as Flo, but Flo was also a very rare fan favorites car back then that also got that less rare is now like available everywhere. There's a little bit of like dirt on him, which I don't believe is supposed to be there. If I try to like wipe it off, what will happen? Like if you go on the other side, he's completely clean. And if I try to like scratch that, it's not coming off. I know for a fact that's not supposed to be there. That's kind of weird. Let's look at Luigi first. I mean, it's just your standard Luigi. He's looking straight ahead. Got that big old smile on his face with like a 95 banner and a Lightning McQueen hat. Luigi is just Luigi until you attach this like giant lightning bolt hat to him, and that just kind of slides right in there. Don't believe he's ever appeared anywhere in a movie, actually. They are just the fan favorites, fantasy cars, like all the other townies are, except for Maddie McGear. That was the only like real one from the movie. Let's go back to the NASCAR, excuse me, 164s. Here we have Takuma Koga's 2021 AC Delco 164. The Takuma Koga cars are very hard to find. He is a current racer in the Arco West series, who I assume works with Lionel, or his contacts work with Lionel a lot to get his diecast produced. He's had 5 164s produced so far, plus a 164 hauler, and he's had at least one, he has at least 2 124s with maybe a third that were made as well. I have none of the 124s, those are very hard to find. I have 2 of his 164s, plus this one is now the third, and they're pretty much impossible to find, but some of these were available for Circle B's like Black Friday sale, and the AC Delco one was the only one of those I didn't have. I did miss out on the 124, unfortunately. It sold out before I could get to it. But you have the AC Delco car. Now, I don't know if this car actually ran in real life. I know that all of his other diecasts did at some point, at least his newer ones. I'm not sure about the 2017 ones because I haven't looked. But I have looked to find pictures of this AC Delco paint scheme, and I can't find pictures of it anywhere, so I'm not exactly sure why it exists. I do know that AC Delco is kind of like a bigger sponsor of the West series, but I'm not sure why this was made if it didn't run on track, which that is what I believe to be true. You have like the red rear windshield banner, which is something that is only done for him. I don't know if it actually looks like that in real life, but either way, it's a quirky little feature. Got the AC Delco logos pretty much everywhere. I can go ahead and show you guys the other 2 diecasts I have of his real quick. That's very sad. So, You have that one, you see right there, which is the AC Delco car we just showed you. You had another 2021 one, the Rise Up car. And you had, and here's one of the 2017 ones, the Koshi no Kenbai car. There's another 2017 one, which is pretty much this exact same paint scheme, but it has some different sponsors on it. And of course, these are pretty much the same paint scheme with different sponsors on it as well. And the third one from 2021, maybe 2022, is the same deal. Very cool, and future very rare cards, not as rare right now because you have a bunch of resellers selling it, which was actually how I got mine. Unfortunately, those sold out before I got to it. But he will definitely go up in value soon. All right, let's do this one. This one's pretty cool, I'd say. This is Alex Bowman's 2021 Martinsville Win 124. Of course, it is in the standard Ally paint scheme from that year, which is probably my favorite of all of them. It's like a majority purple one with a pretty cool like neon pink and blue, and some black is incorporated as well design. He won the penultimate race of the season at Martinsville, made some contact with Denny Hamlin with this beat up right front area. And so you can see the race damage. You have some tire marks and dirt and grime on this side, a little bit on the Ally logo. You have like all the lettering rubbed off of that tire. You of course have the damage that I mentioned on that right front. Most of it does come on the right though, where you can see both tires have the lettering worn off, and you have like a big old dent with dirt up towards the front of that 48. And on top of all that, you have all this confetti on the top, the windshield, the hood, and a little bit on the sides and back. There's like one piece of confetti on that back windshield. There's not a lot of damage on like the entire back of the car. So that's just how Martinsville is. You make a bunch of contact with other cars, you get a race win die cast like this with all the damage or whatever. And I believe this is the first race in like years that Martinsville actually had like confetti. I know they did it for a while, but this is the first one, at least within like a few years of the time of that race happening. Let's do these. These are pretty fun. These are some fun little cars. Here we have some SpongeBob cars. Now these aren't like weird, like just normal SpongeBob cars. These are cars that ran on track in real life. Kansas 2015 was like a SpongeBob themed like weekend pretty much. And you had, I believe, 6 special paint schemes in the cup race, plus at least 1 in Xfinity and 1 in trucks, maybe more. And 5 of those cup die casts got made. I have 4, I believe, of the cup die casts got made from that weekend. So you have these 3, and then you have, but they sponsored 5, they sponsored 5 cup cars, and 4 of them got made. My apologies. Here we got Michael McDowell's car, which is mostly the WRL scheme they ran. You got, the yellow one. Everybody have, Larry the Lobster on the back there. You got him. You got Casey Mears, who usually has Geico on the car, but this time it's just like a giant Squidward face on the hood. You have Squidward screaming on both the sides. And you have David Reagan's car, where it's sponsored by Aaron's, and it's also got SpongeBob kind of taking over the car. You got like the sponge design back there, and you have him on the hood and whatever. You also gotta love those silver, rims back there. So the truck diecast didn't get made. There was 1 cup diecast that didn't get made, but the Xfinity diecast did get made, and that was Bubba Wallace's car. And they also sponsored Ty Dillon in the cup race, and I have both of those. So I have all 5 of the SpongeBob cars from that weekend that were made as diecast. That's pretty neat. Let's do this next. This is, I believe this was made in 2018, a Rookie of the Year 3-pack of William Byron cars, because he won Rookie of the Year in trucks in 2016. He won Rookie of the Year in Xfinity in 2017, and he won Rookie of the Year in Cup in 2018. So 3 straight years, 3 Rookie of the Years. And his only consistent sponsor for all of those was Liberty University, which once again is a very morally questionable sponsor or whatever. They've had many bad allegations, which I believe were true allegations about them. But they're the ones who are on the side of the car, and I mainly won this for this truck down here, which is a very cool, unique piece. Because they didn't make trucks. They say they had stopped making trucks up until about like 2017-ish, I think. That was when they started making them 164 again. They only did like a few 124s in that time frame as well. I think let's kind of rip this open, whatever. I do try to tend to avoid the Liberty cars because of, you know, all the stuff that they did, but this set is too cool to pass up, really. And this kind of rips apart the bottom here, not make contact with all the other cars. And then these are all in like packages as well, so we'll have to open them up too. There we go. Get those out. Now, they're in like a little like protector here. I'll have to somehow break. Is it taped together? Is it taped? Oh, never mind. They're just stuck in there pretty good. I didn't have to do anything. Oops. Alright, let's go in reverse chronological order. This is his 20 of the 18. This is the 2018 164 from the Cup Series. Let me close up the box real quick. There we go. Alright, so here it is. The paint scheme really is kind of trash, but it is a car nonetheless. The colors do look nice, at least, and I really hate the Rookie of the Year logos. I will never purposely like buy it, apart from maybe this one because of that truck. But you have the giant Rookie of the Year logo on top, of course. Got the rookie stripes. But they did kind of fix this scheme. They made it better towards like 2020 or whatever. This one's probably maybe the worst paint scheme of the 3. It's between that or the Cup car. The truck is pretty nice. And he actually did win the championship in the Xfinity Series this year. He should have been the truck champion that year in the truck series, but he had a string of unfortunate events towards the latter half of the season that eliminated him, and then he picked it back up and started winning, but it's too late already. He's already eliminated. Here it is. It's on the Xfinity car. I do kind of like the darker front bumper area. So all in all, it's kind of like an awkward paint scheme. And once again, the Giants Rookie of the Year logo on top does not look very, good. Also, don't really like the championship cars for that exact reason. And here we go. Here's really the star of the show for me, the truck. Because the other 2 cars, you got the normal version of this without the logo made this year, normal version of this without the logo made that year, but they never ever made the truck. And normally, I don't even know if they made a 120 for it. And luckily, this one is different from the rest because instead of having the Rookie of the Year logo on the roof like the other ones, it's just on the rear bed, which still is just ugly, but it's better than the other ones. So you got like the Tundra front end, and the number 9 for Kyle Busch Motorsports. And once again, the colors do look pretty cool, at least. That's a pretty neat car, or truck really in this case. Let's get these out the way. We have another kind of set of 3. Here we have Tyler Reddick's 2022 3Chi primary card. This card is only released as a promo that you can get through 3Chi's websites. Or if you want to be like stupid and pay more, you can pay a eBay reseller to buy those for you. Pretty simple paint scheme, some neat little designs, and you have the gold foil like number. Then you have his Road America win 124 or 164, which is also only available as a promo from the 3Chi website. And they did kind of, they switched up the 3Chi paint scheme a couple times through the years, and this is kind of the one they landed on towards the middle of the season, where it's got like a bunch of like stars and stripes or whatever, but they're all like just like in black and gray. You have like some tire marks on the side. Got Kalahari Resorts back there. Got one of those near me. It's a pretty cool place. 2020 Camaro. And then you have the Indianapolis Road Course win 164, which is also only available as a promo. So the 3Chi cars from that year are only available as promos from the 3Chi website. But starting with Kyle Busch this year, they were just like normal die casts you could buy straight from Lionel. This one don't got really too much. You have a couple little tire marks and everything on each side. That's mainly the way you can tell these apart, is that the tire, you have like very clear tire marks on the left side on this one, and not really on this one on either side. And you also have like a guaranteed rate logo back here as opposed to the Kalahari logo on the other one. But we do this guy. Here we have Clutch Cringle. This is the only one of the Disney cars, like holiday cars, holiday in terms of Christmas, because I still need the Easter Flow, which is a very new release. Clutch Cringle, the only Christmas car I still need. A pretty new release and a pretty unexpected one. I wish, or I'm glad they're diving more back into the books, like, you know, what they did with the reindeer a couple years ago, releasing him, and now releasing this guy. There's your name tag. And here is Clutch himself. He's a pretty small little guy. The thing that like I noticed about him is his eyes. His eyes really don't look like Mattel diecast eyes. I'm not sure why. I can't put my finger on it. Maybe it's because they're looking. Maybe it's because like the color. Maybe there's like the pupils are like too big or black or whatever. But they really don't feel like Mattel eyes. They feel like almost like the eyes you would see on the Disney Parks cars. That's what it reminds me of a lot. But it is a Mattel car nonetheless. Tiny little guy. He's got a Santa hat. He's in like a metallic green color. He's got some red like stripes and whatever. He's got a kind of almost scary expression. You have the ears that almost look like elf ears, or the mirrors that kind of almost look like elf ears, which is a cool little touch. Once again, he's just kind of like a tiny little guy. But we do this one. This is Jesse Little's 2020 Scuttletite 164, and it is autographed by him. Pretty simple black paint scheme. We got Scuttletite logo on the front, all-in-one attic entry system. I guess someone has to make those, right? We got, you know, just random, almost green and white like splotches back here. Like, what do I even call this design? I mean, I don't know what to say about that, but it looks pretty good. Like that, of course, back there as well. You just have the Scuttletite logos like all over this thing. You can see like 1, 2, 3 right here. Got the other one on the hood. You have, I saw something, what's that, whatever's on the top, it says Tough Co. You have some KSDT logos as well. Jesse Little got at least, I think, one more, maybe a couple more die casts. Let me just look on Lionel Garage real quick to look up the Jesse Little die cast, because I know he got a truck die cast in 2021, maybe 2022. That was like his last one, because I know he retired after, I think, 2022, maybe 2021. He was like a long time. For a long time he's kind of was riding around in some of these back of the pack midfield cars. I think he did a pretty great job with them. If I remember, he was kind of before my time when he was doing all that. But I'm on Lionel Garage right now. There you go. We can just kind of look at this right here. If I type in little. How do I do that with one hand? Yeah, you can see there's his truck diecaster. Yeah, from 2022. That ran at Darlington, I believe, and then his last race was like at Bristol. Then you have the ones I showed you right there, and then the rest of these, I guess, are Little Caesars cars. I forgot that Donnie Schatz got a 164. That was very weird. Very, very weird. Anyway, so I guess that was his only Xfinity Series 164, but yeah. Here we go, and with another one. Here's a 164. This is Dave Marcus's, I believe, 1994 Dale Earnhardt Chevrolet car. I don't remember the exact story behind this. It might have been that he had no sponsorship and Dale stepped up and was like, I'll throw my, I guess, maybe a dealership on your car. And it did have real pictures of the car where it's like kind of like that, only that was visible, and like Dave was like crouched behind it here. I couldn't find a picture of one with his exact like hood decal or whatever, but I'm sure one exists out there somewhere because it's hard to find pictures of the cars from like the 90s and earlier, even into the 2000s. It's hard to find pictures of cars or whatever. But this is another one I didn't have a number of, number 71, and also did not have any Dave Marcus cars yet, and he ran the number 71 a lot, and that's where I believe most of, if not maybe all of the number 71 diecasts come from him. We still have like 4 124s left to show off, so I think we have 4 of like maybe the best here. Who knows? That's what we decide. Let's do this. Here we have Sheldon Creed's 2021 Darlington win 124. He won both of the Darlington truck races that year. There were 2 back then, and they were both pretty chaotic races if I recall correctly. But he won the first one with the throwback. Then this is the second one where he won with like the normal non-throwback paint scheme. Lift Kits for Less only sponsored Creed for 1 year. I think they came in through maybe Matt Jaskell. That's who they were sponsoring like at first, and then they flipped over to Creed because he was like on a winning team or whatever, winning races. It was a pretty cool paint scheme. He won with it twice. He won this race, of course, and then I believe either the week after or the week before he had won at Gateway, Worldwide Technology Raceway. But I love this paint scheme. The blue is a very nice color. Get more at liftkitsforless.com. Got that again. The orange is also very nice. We have whatever this pattern is going on. The number 2, the GMS number 2. And then like the silver almost, or gray or whatever. In the back, you see like the Creed, the name tag or whatever. And then during the race, someone like ran into the back of him and like pushed his like rear bumper in. So Lionel, they can't actually like cut off parts of the car to make it look realistic because they love money and put that above accuracy, unfortunately. But this still looks pretty neat, I guess. You can see the front bumper like attempted to be, you know, crunched in or whatever. If it were to look at it from the side, if this were to be like a pitch black room, whatever, if you put like a Takuma Koga diecast like right there, I guess you can imagine that the truck is like actually has that like little hole in it right there. Aside from like the rear bumper, you don't get a whole lot of race damage on the side. You just have the typical marbles or whatever. You can see a lot more of those up front. This is a very cool looking truck. I love it. Love the damage, the minimal damage. Next up, let's do this guy. This is Ken Schrader's, I believe, 2004 Schwann's car. It was hard to figure out which year it was because they pretty much all look the same, and it would be like, I swear, like he would run like this kind of paint scheme like for one race, And then the rest would be with another kind of paint scheme. It's hard. I think this is 2004, but I do know this car did run on track at some point. It is a Dodge with that very funny looking front grille. Almost looks like a snake or something with those eyes or whatever. It's like a tan cream color, almost like yellow or green. I can't even tell. And it doesn't go very well with like the darker blue that's on the number and the logo or whatever. You have like a little swan on the side though, which I guess matches the like Schwann's paint scheme, even though that's not how you spell swan. So they might want to fix that. Haha. Yeah, like I think that little pink thing is part of that logo, that RBS logo. That doesn't say RBS, that says RNB and then a Safeway logo. Oops. This is a very confusing car or whatever. I still do like it though, and it is another new number for the collection in number 49. That is the lowest number that I didn't have, not including the numbers that start with 0, because they didn't make some of those, and the other ones are pretty hard to find or rare or whatever. Let's do one more 124, and then I promise I'll get back into the Disney stuff. Here we have a 2012 Chicago Cubs 124. I am a Cubs fan, so that's why this is on the list, and this is a very cool looking car. You have like some dark blue pinstripes going all the way across. On the side you have like some gray, you have the giant Chicago letters. It was shot like the skyline. You can see the Sears Tower right there, whatever. It's not called that anymore, but that's what real people call it. It's either the Sears Tower or the Willis Tower. Those are the two acceptable names. You have National League on the tires instead of like Goodyear or whatever, because they play in the National League of the MLB. Speaking of MLB, you got the MLB logo on the back. Got the Cubs, the normal Cubs logo on the sides and on the hood. Chicago Cubs logo on the front. You have the kind of like a baseball pattern, Major League Baseball on this towards the front. You have the Cubs logo with the bear on the roof. You have another thing on the back that just says no Chicago Cubs. They have a very, very white spoiler. That does open up, and the hood does as well. I haven't been looking at the DINs of these cars, or the DINs of these cars. I haven't been showing them in this video, but none of them were door numbers or number ones or whatever, so nothing like important or whatever. And this car also came with tickets to Cubs opening day, which happens to be in up near Dallas. They're playing the Rangers on opening day, so we got some tickets to that game, which is very nice. It's gonna be hopefully a good game. Hopefully the Cubs win, but the Rangers are the defending World Series champions, so it's gonna be a tough one. All right, here we go. Back to the Disney stuff. Right here, we have the 2024, I believe, 2-pack featuring Jeremy and the Chiefess. I've held off on buying Jeremy just because I wanted to get him in the 2-pack with Chiefess, who is not being released as a single. And I assume if they wanted to release her by herself, she would be a deluxe, which, well, they can't do that because they cut the deluxe line. This is the 2024 version because you have the, like, Red Riders packaging or whatever. You also have a massive, massive blister because your feet need to fit the Chiefess in here. Kind of like, I believe they did that with the Red and Stanley 2-pack, but I haven't really seen much of that 2-pack and I haven't bought it, so I can't say for sure if that's what they did with it. There's some more on-the-road cars to add to the collection. I don't have a whole lot compared to what they've made. I've got a decent amount, I'd say. Still waiting to find a Bella Cadavra 2-pack or whatever, because I've been buying off on Deputy McQueen for so long. I've seen him so many times, I just haven't bought him because I want to get him in that 2-pack with the exclusive Bella Cadavra. Oh, that fell out, but it kind of landed nice. Alright, here's Jeremy first. He is very aggressive. He's an old Hugo. He's got like a lifted suspension or whatever. He's got like the hammer or mallet, whatever, on this side, which you can kind of push forward. You have the gun on this side. You have a bunch of spikes on his roof, almost like hair, spikes on the back of it. Awesome looking car. Then you have the Chiefess, who is a not spike. She's not like rusty or whatever. She is gold. She has the giant like hat or whatever. She's got I guess kind of like a frown. You can kind of see there. You have cool looking wheels, cool rim designs. You have a couple of spikes up towards like the front of her hood. where her headlights would usually be, and on her like rear trunk area. Overall, very, very cool car. I don't remember if she's actually ever like rolling by herself in the episode. Probably at the end when they're all talking to each other. I can't recall like an exact specific scene where that is happening. Let's get back to the 164s real quickly. Here we have Chase Elliott's 2022 Dover win 164. Is the standard Napa scheme from this year. Got not a whole lot of race damage. You have, of course, the marbling on the front, and you have a little bit of a scrape towards that rear back wheel. Most of it is just the standard red, white, and blue confetti, which is visible all across the right side of this car and on the roof a little bit. Where did this come from? I'm trying to figure out, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars left. We have 2 Disney things. They're both planes actually. 3 164s and 2 124s. Let's do one of the 124s. Here we've got Justin Haley's 2019 Daytona win 124. This is a pretty hard to find one, I think. I believe, well, I know. Not like impossible, but not easy. He won in the Fraternal Order of Eagles FOE scheme. He ran this scheme from, like, I don't even know, like for years pretty much. And it followed him across like Trucks, Xfinity, and Cup. They ran this like exact same paint scheme, just superimposed on the different bodies or whatever. And it does look nice, and of course he got lucky. Had a very fortunate pit call in the middle of the 2019 Coke 0400. He stayed out, became the leader, and then rain came and the race never restarted, and he got the win. So because it was raining, there's of course no confetti, which they usually do during that race. Usually they completely like coat the whole thing in confetti, but because of the rain, there's no confetti on this car. You don't even have like a lot of race damage because he was mostly just in the back minding his own business until everyone crashed in front of him. Then he stayed out when everyone had pit in front of him, and he won. There's a little scratch like up towards the front of that number, but that's not supposed to be there. It's just a mark, unfortunately. I guess you'd have like a little bit of, you know, dirt or whatever, like back here. A little bit of dirt up towards that front wheel. Apart from that, really, this is like the only time this paint scheme got made as a die cast, I believe, because I don't think any of his truck wins in this paint scheme got made as die casts. The truck win that they did make was when he was running the other FOE scheme, which was like red, white, and blue. Alright, back to 164s. Here you have Kevin Harvick's Busch NA scheme from 2021. It is the standard Busch paint scheme that they run, which is like a pretty nice one with like the bright blue and like the mountain range. But now you have some like a red little swoosh or whatever with Busch NA.1. I don't even know what Busch NA was or means. I think he ran this at one of the Martinsville races. Don't quote me on that. A pretty solid looking paint scheme. Alright, back to Disney stuff. Here we have Joey Dundee, who is a very, very rare plane. He was only released twice. One of them was in like a 7-pack back in the original Planes line, which was very hard to find and still is very hard to find. Then it was re-released in either 2015 or 2016, I don't remember which, as a single, which is this one right here. And that has since gone up in price by like a lot. Like he is worth, like the listings for him on eBay, like over $100. This one, fortunately, was only like $20 because there is a seller right now located in China who has some of them, and he's just selling them for $20. They might be out of stock by now by the time this video goes out, because they're down to like maybe like two or one available, and I know that more people have been finding out about the seller. But I was fortunate enough to get one before that, and I was also able, though this was like, you know, a gift or whatever, but I was also able to buy a Yaw Claw off of that seller, and that is coming still in the mail. So you have his artwork up there, of course, and then on the back, you have like a little label or whatever. I don't know exactly what it means. I believe it's like an old importation label. I just thought it was pretty cool. Here's name tag. And here is, I don't want to break the camera, so I'm going to move him off screen. Sorry. He's like stuck in here. Pretty good. There he is. Joey's always been one of my favorite planes things just because he's a real clean expression and a cool little design. You have like Aussie written up front because he's from Australia. He's the Australian racer. He is the, he's number 9. You have number 9 on both sides. And on that one wing, you have like a boomerang, and I believe that's maybe like a sun back there. He has some logo down underneath all that. Then he just kind of has like some red and yellow like design back right there. I don't know if, can you fold that wheel in? You can fold that wheel in, so that's pretty neat. You can't fold the other wheels in, so I don't know what the purpose is of really folding the other wheel in. I guess you could like fly him like that or whatever. He's just kind of pointed down. So you'll want to probably keep that wheel out like that, and you can kind of roll him around. Love him. Oh, that wheel needs to be like locked back in. There we go. Hopefully that's not going to come out again. All right, 4 more cars to go. We're going to end on the final Disney item, which is a planes item. Let's do this. This is Stewart Friesen's 2022 Texas Win 164. Now, Stewart Friesen only has 3 diecasts that have been made. One of them was of his Eldora win from 2019. That was made as like a promo. It is very rare now. One of his Texas win in 124, which is also a promo and pretty rare now, although it is still available from his website. And another Texas win from 2022 as a 164, also a promo, which is still available from his website, but probably not going to be there for a terribly high amount of time later. Sponsored by Hallmark. This is the first ever 164 for Stewart Friesen. My dad's a fan of his. I thought this was kind of funny. Gotta have him. He's an integral part of the trucks field. Got Friesen back there. Got the standard Hallmark paint scheme, which has remained pretty much the same since like 2016 almost, when he made his first start. 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. It's changed, but it's been the same colors, a relatively similar design or whatever. And you don't even really have that much like race. You don't really have a whole lot of race marks or whatever. You have a little bit of stuff like underneath the number. And you have a little bit of stuff maybe that exhaust or whatever, because of like, I guess, the burn. I'm gonna look at it up close, like with my own eyes. And you can see like a very small amount of like, kicked up marbles or whatever, but not a whole lot. Let's do the final 164. This is Kyle Busch's 2008 Atlanta win 164. One of the few 164s released in the Car of Tomorrow era that were raced versions. And I believe this was the last 164 released with windshield confetti until 2015, and then that 2015 one was like only liquid color only. Then they didn't do them up until 2022 at the very end, and only one diecast got that treatment. This is Atlanta win, the Snickers car, his first win with Joe Gibbs and Cup. Very cool. You have like some M&M bags. You have the windshield confetti on both the front and back, and even on the side window, which is neat. They don't even do that anymore. Yeah, a little bit on the left side. You have a little like scratch, a little wall scratch. I saw a glare. That's a wall scratch on the right side. This is also a very forlorn, unknown, and rare car to find. go. Final 124. This is Brennan Poole's 2022 Out of the Groove 124. It was a promo available through, I believe, the Daily Downforce shop or whatever, and I believe this is the last one in stock, like, anywhere. So it's no longer available from the Daily Downforce. It is out of stock there. Yes, out of stock. I just checked again. And on eBay, I don't believe there were any. Let me check real quick again. If they are, they're probably for an inflated price. Yes, there's none of these on eBay available. And I do have another Brendan Poole diecast coming. His 2023 Toxic Waste diecast. That is one I've already had on pre-order. Because my name is actually on the back of the car. I have the words Epic Green Thunder on this rear deck lid or whatever. In the same spot where all these names would be. And of course, when that diecast comes, I will actually do a solo review of it. Just because it's a cool promo and a rare one, and my name's on it, and that's cool, I think. This one, he ran this at Phoenix in 2022, the final race. This is the first Brennan Poole diecast, I believe. Let me double check Lionel Garage on that real quick. But I believe this is the first one out of the years he's been doing this. So if I type in Poole and search, yes, this is the only Brennan Poole diecast that is currently released. And then the Toxic Waste one is supposed to come later in 2024. It's a cool thing, you got Eric Estep's head, just as like the main logo, which I believe they see out of the Groove logo pretty much as well. He's the guy that runs it. Got the white wheels, black design. Love the design of this car. It's a rare promo, and I have it now. And it's a cool car. It's an underdog that I like. Cool team, cool sponsor, whatever. And it's rare and it's awesome. That's why I love it. All right, we have one final car to look at today, and it is this. Not actually visible right now. This is Racing Dusty Crophopper. It is in this fancy little box. You have like Dusty's just like eyes up here. You have the same picture of Dusty on both of these sides. Oh, never mind. That one's different. They're different. But you have like the Plains logo, Racing Dusty Crophopper, Plains logo, Racing Dusty Crophopper. Of course, it's not just a normal Racing Dusty Crophopper. We'll see in a second. I'm sure most of you probably already know what item this is. Check it out. You do kind of have to open like both sides in order to like push it out from one. It's also extremely hard to put the box like back. There it is. It is a metallic Racing Dusty Crophopper. I don't really know the exact story behind this. I thought, like, just in my mind as I first got it, I was like, oh yeah, this was a convention exclusive, wasn't it? I don't believe it was. The story behind it, I believe, was it was supposed to be like a Kmart promotional item, but it was during the time that like Kmart was kind of like, you know, crashing and burning to the ground or whatever. So what they did was they just kind of put it on like Amazon. It was available on Amazon for a while, I believe, for like dirt cheap pretty much. Nowadays it's worth like a pretty high price, like in the range of like $75, $100 or whatever. I don't know exactly how to open this case because I will have this guy loose. I'll keep the display case intact, of course. And you do have some screws at the bottom. Let me see if my my screwdriver from the thing. You know what? The screwdriver that I used in the video where I put together those radiator springs racers, I think, should hopefully fit in these screws. The main challenge is going to be figuring out how to open this little case without breaking it or whatever. Looks like is there a tape? I don't know. I also don't want to knock the camera over, of course. There we go. As far as I know, I think this is the only metallic plan they did. And I'm just gonna pull it. Okay, there we go. That's off. I will put that back to the box. Here he is, kind of on this little display stand. Spin the propeller, spin the propeller, spin the propeller, whatever. And let's see if this fits. Okay, it kind of does. It kind of fits. It's going to take a lot of effort, I think, because it's not a perfect fit. So, kind of have to turn it like a little bit at a time. And then, okay, so it's actually not turning like at all. So, that's an issue. So the screwdriver will not work with it. So I don't have another screwdriver with me. All the other ones are downstairs or whatever. So I will have to go get one of those after the video's over. And you can just kind of admire him while he's on this thing there. It's the standard racing dusty Crophopper. Now in a beautiful, like, metallic orange color. Do we have any other metallic orange cars? I think Snot Rod. We have a Snot Rod. I don't know of any others. I don't have that Snot Rod actually. I should probably try to get one of those. But he looks just awesome here. Very, very cool looking guy. And yeah, that is it for the Christmas haul. I'm gonna get all these off my desk and into the cases or whatever. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all next time. Goodbye.